Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a good one for you this morning. We got a lot to go over. We're going to make it as tight as possible. We got some Bitcoin news. You're going to want to know it. IPOs in crypto. We're going to talk about the impact of that to regular consumers. NFTs on the XRP Ledger. Let's think about that for a second. The expansion of a crypto offering in e-commerce. China government really exercising its control. We're going to talk about that. And does a digital dollar go hand in hand with the XRP case with Ripple and the SEC? We're going to go for that. We're 1 day away, ladies and gentlemen, from Gary Gensler confirmation. 1 day away. And maybe that's why Ripple did this. Did what? Let's roll that beautiful intro and find out. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything we're talking about here, check it out on Twitter. Follow me there. Let's get that count up. Follow me on Twitter. I'd really appreciate it. All right, Bitcoin, 47,834.83 cents. It is off by 13.30% on the 7-day, and it's up 5.38% on the 24-hour. Really quickly, coming down to the number 7 spot, courtesy of the dereliction of duty by the SEC, 0.4345. It is up 3.2% on the 24-hour, and it's off by more than 23% on the 7-day. Yikes. Let's go ahead and get into this morning. This is from XRP Crypto Wolf. Bitcoin falls below 44,000 as crypto prices continue to slide. Many cryptocurrencies have suffered pullbacks of 25% or more, as we just saw. The correction could be due to the growth of the U.S. Treasury bond yields. Yeah, and it could also be due to this as well. This is from the XRP Smuggler. Tether hasn't printed in exactly 6 days. Bitcoin has been dropping for 6 days. Just food for thought here. Let's change gears. Don't say you haven't been told. CoinDesk here says, shout out to Joni Gould-Bronson. Shout out to you and Steve. I hope you guys are doing, my friends. Crypto long and short, how Coinbase going public is reshaping trust in markets. You know, we actually touched on this last week, and I thought it was fitting that we just mention it again. IPOs in the crypto blockchain space are going to be enormous. You want to talk about the best advertisement to people who don't know what we are, what this space is? IPOs and that public brand awareness of those companies are going to let a lot of other people who don't really have the pioneer vanguard status that you and I all have, right? And they don't know all the ins and outs of what's the difference between Bitcoin or XRP or Litecoin or this, that, and the other, right? So, you know, when it comes to IPOs, it's that general awareness that people start to get the assumption, oh, this is a publicly traded company. I'm safe to go ahead and get into this, not because it can't fail, but because they know that there is a whole host of regulatory framework for consumer and investment protections, right? And that's that real true good housekeeping seal of approval. So we will keep an eye on how many more companies we see, but we know Coinbase is in line. We know Kraken is in line. Robinhood is in line. And I think it's fitting Robinhood be in line because their ass definitely needs to be in a real framework. But that's another story. Let's keep going here. Now, this is really interesting. This market has taken off non-fungible tokens. These are tokens that are not like your regular cryptocurrencies. These are tokens that truly represent like intellectual property, right? Whether it be like collectibles, like digital collectibles of your favorite NBA players, like NBA cards or baseball cards. I think this is going to absolutely, and it's pretty clear sign right here that people have spent more than $230 million buying and trading digital collectibles of NBA highlights alone. And if you think of this for a second, it's like, wow, this is really reviving the whole collectible memorabilia market. Now think about the art market. Now think about, just music. Think about it's endless when you think about this. I think intellectual property has been one of the things in the onset of the internet that has absolutely taken a hit when it comes to digital file sharing, which is, a fancier, smoother word for we stole it. So I hope to see, as a songwriter, a producer, and musician, that this moves into a position where it allows everybody to access the art and the artist not lose out on the value that they want to collect for their art. So that's really exciting. We'll keep an eye on that. This is We'd Say When saying, we hear the pounding on the ground from the masses and NFTs are being heard worldwide. We'd Say When says, they have come up with a proposal for implementing support for non-fungible tokens, which are NFTs, right, on the XRP Ledger that does not require changing the code. Again, this is another example to me of how assets sit on the ledger. This is going to lead to a conversation here at the end of this video, and I hope you stay with me till the end, because this really is about Gary Gensler being one day away from his confirmation and his thoughts on how he sees Ripple and XRP. And then I'm going to share something with you about why I believe Ripple had taken certain actions just a few months ago. So we're going to talk about that in a second, but let's keep moving. This is from CoinDesk again. Rakuten, e-commerce giant, now lets users shop with cryptocurrency. It just keeps getting bigger. The move opens up crypto payments at thousands of merchants across Japan, that accept Rakuten Pay and Rakuten Point Card. Now, this is big. I mean, the more we see these, Rakuten is huge. It is like Japan's Amazon. It's massive, if you're not aware. So this is a very big deal. And I would expect, obviously, because now it's not just Rakuten, and we see also My Bank, a subsidiary of Alibaba's payment giant Ant Group, is reportedly now aiding China in its efforts to develop a digital yuan. Well, this to me is China leaning heavily in, because I think they either took over Ant Group, or if they didn't, they certainly told Jack Ma, we'll be helping you with some of the decisions. They have a way of imposing that power on their companies. So on the companies like Jack Ma's company here, Ant Group, and I haven't even seen Jack Ma in a while, so I don't even know where the guy's at, and I hope he's well. But this is another effort by China to really, insinuate their coin into something like Ant Group. And Ant Group is enormous. If you remember, they wanted to purchase MoneyGram and got turned down by the U.S. government, and then Ripple came in and partnered right after that. That happened. Here is a reminder that 86% of more than 60 central banks queried state that they are at least studying the creation and issuance of CBDCs. BIS has estimated that by 2024, 20% of the world's population will access CBDCs. I would encourage the BIS to move a little quicker, because I don't think China is really working on that timeline per se. And it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a digital dollar sooner rather than later. One of the questions I do want to propose to each and every one of you is, does a digital dollar come hand in hand, damn near, step in step, or in step with the settlement of the Ripple lawsuit with the SEC? I really don't see how it can't. I mean, it has to follow either soon after or damn near right at the same time. And the reason I believe that is because I believe once this case is settled with Ripple, we're going to have a defining moment for cryptocurrency broadly, not just Ripple. I think the case itself will allow a lot of the digital asset space to be defined based off of the findings of that case. And I do believe that, as Jeremy Hogan has stated himself from Legal Briefs, if you're not following him, go subscribe, watch everything. I do believe that we would see a settlement more so than a jury trial, because it is a mess on both sides of the case, and the SEC is aware of it as well as anyone. So here we see from James Rule XRP, op-ed, a digital dollar would help the U.S. and its allies keep China in check, and that's exactly right. And it is important that China not be the leader in the fourth industrial revolution. This is a government that tells their people how many kids they could have. Right? not exactly somebody you want leading the fourth industrial revolution now, is it? So yeah, this is why I really believe it's a lot further along than people believe. I also played yesterday clip of back in October of 2020. I had Jerome Powell and a clip of him talking about the fact that it was further along. He had admitted that there was a public-private relationship to getting the digital dollar done. We don't know exactly who that is, but we do know Brad Garlinghouse has told us that, central banks are looking to issue stable coins off of the XRP Ledger open source technology. We will have to stay tuned as to whether the Fed is one of those banks. So let's go ahead and keep going here. This is a picture of the Interledger protocol family in the ISO 20022 ecosystem, which is going to be the new modern global de facto payment standard language for payments. So look who's in the class. And this is from, I believe, this is from the INA which is in ATBA. Right. And this is all your founding members showing you how this system will work. Obviously, you can see Ripple here, Interledger Protocol, XRP R3, Corda, ISO 202. You see all the normal actors, Swift. Then down here, Trade Finance, they show ZenFin, which is interesting. We just talked about them yesterday. It'd be interesting to see where ZenFin's going to get their liquidity from for participate in this network. But I'm watching very closely. I want to learn a lot about them. And then here we see IBM, Stellar, Hyperledger Fabric, for which we know that absolutely Ripple is a part of that community, that consortium as well. XLM, there's Accenture, there's Consensus, SAP, Guardtime, IOTA. You see it. I'm not going to name it all, but you see it here. JP Morgan, Circle, USD Coin, Algo, Algorand. Yeah, isn't that something? So this is a pretty interesting diagram, and you ask yourself, well, what is INATBA? So INATBA is actually started by Ripple. They're one of the founding members. INATBA here, it shows a list of all the members. You can see Accenture, all the ones we saw in the diagram, and more, right? Now, you don't see Ripple in this list, but fear not. I'm not going to go down the whole list, but I will show you just this 30-second clip where he announces they are a founding member. Here's Brad Garlinghouse.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO here at Ripple.
We know.
It's an honor and really a privilege for us to be one of the founding members of the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications. This really is a pivotal time for the distributed ledger technology industry. It's critical that as an industry, we come together and engage with regulators and with governments globally. The work we're seeing with the European Commission is pivotal and can be leading in this effort. We're thrilled to be involved and look forward to being a leading participant.
There you have it, right? So
Hi.
Let me just stop that real quick so it doesn't autoplay. All right, now just to let you know, and that's why I wanted to show that so you understand that this diagram isn't just somebody in a basement mapping it out thinking that's how they believe it's going to work, right? It's not. This is how Accenture and Eclipse and De Factoro and Crypto Valley and CoinFirm and Blockstate and all the other companies, Bitbond, BBVA, right? Tendermint, all the Eternity, all of these companies are a part of this. Like I said, Accenture, it's massive. And that's how they see the new payment system set up. Very important to understand that. Now let's move here because we're one day away from this guy becoming the next head of the SEC. I'm going to play all 2 minutes of this and I want you to stay with me.
Live Xcurrent is the thing that they're using most right now, and that's just an alternative for Swift that doesn't even use their coin.
So Hugo has asked about the token XRP and whether I think it's a non-compliant security. I've spoken publicly. Yes, I do think it's a non-compliant security. But this will not be resolved just by the Securities and Exchange Commission. It will be resolved by some courts, whether it's appellate courts or the Supreme Court. So what I believe is just that. It's a belief. But why would I say that? I think back to the Howey test. I think they are exchanging XRP. Ripple, the company, is exchanging XRP for something of value.
Just understand that he's using the Howey test as his reference. This is well before he knew he was going to be nominated at all to the SEC.
And they're using it right now. They sell it every month. It's in a lockup, it's in an escrow, and they sell XRP every month. Ripple, the company, initially did the Genesis block back in 2013.
Now, notice how well versed he is in what Ripple has done. He's well aware that they gifted it from OpenCoin to Ripple. They know that they did the Genesis block on it. I mean, he understands the escrow. He's teaching this at MIT at the time.
But kept 80% of the tokens. Now they have about 60% of the token. But they sell it on a continuous basis, 100 million to 200 million or so a month of value. Two, I think it is relying on a common enterprise. I think Ripple, the company, XRP investors are very much relying on Ripple, the company. And that if Ripple, the company, went away, as you noted, there's not much use of XRP. In fact, for the first 3 or 4 years, or 5 years even, there was no use, and then they prototyped something called XRapid. XCurrent, the main product of Ripple, the company, is a messaging and apparently a clever one that's competing with Swift. But XRapid, the prototype, doesn't have a large community right now. So it's highly centralized around Ripple, the company, the development, the node network. The ownership is 55 or 60% owned by them. They're promoting it as such.
And there it is. But I tell you, obviously some of those facts and figures have changed. The system is now combined all into one and called Ripple On-Demand Liquidity now, right? So, and they have Ripple Net. But now here's the thing I wanted to say. And obviously with his confirmation one day away, and I will be the Honorable Gary Gensler of Maryland to be a member of the Securities Exchange Commission. Here it is, tomorrow at 10 a.m. I will be tuning in. You can count on it. And here we have the XRP Ledger Foundation. Remember when that happened? Mm-hmm. Remember when we saw the decoupling from Ripple and the announcement of this XRP Ledger Foundation? Well, I believe it's because they were in the middle of those tolling agreements, and they knew that those tolling agreements with the SEC of trying to find a solution about XRP was not working. And one of the things that they did, among many, was to decouple Ripple from the company and create XRP Ledger, the foundation, to give it its own oversight of a nonprofit organization that could oversee the ledger, taking that responsibility and distancing Ripple from the ledger itself. Remember, when Bob Way was on this show, the idea was in the war room in the early days of Ripple, when they were strategizing about implementing this and doing these things, was that the idea was over time, Ripple would have less and less to do with XRP because of the decentralization, right? The use of everyone adopting it in the right areas of industry through seigniorage, which is a rebated program to incentivize market makers to use the asset itself. A lot of times, as the SEC acknowledged that this is pre-allocation because this is a non-cash agreement that was made with market makers, which means I will pre-allocate a certain amount to you. You will pre-contractually agree not to dump it on the market and to do the things that we agreed that you will do, right? And that is exactly what has happened, and that's exactly why I believe Ripple's being sued, because they were successful in that widespread adoption, and that's why we're here today and not Dogecoin. Anyway, we're one day away. Things get more interesting. It will be interesting to hear from Gary Gensler once the confirmation is done, and if his stance on XRP and the case with Ripple and SEC, if he still feels just as strongly about what XRP is today and where Ripple stands with it. So this is getting interesting. I love it. This is a great space to follow, and I can't wait to see what yields after tomorrow. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. By the way, I have a crypto education course for anybody new. It is extremely affordable. It's under $50. It might be cheaper than that, but it's certainly under $50, and it will get you up to snuff when it comes to Bitcoin, what cryptocurrency even is, Ethereum and XRP, and the differences between them. And I think now is a good time as any to know it. And make sure you get on that newsletter as well. There'll be something coming out really soon. I'll catch all of you on the next one.